Good morning and welcome to Mrs. Spell's Sweet Treats and More. This is my YouTube channel. Today is Monday and this is Monday Moments. Welcome to everyone. We are in the midst of cold weather here in Massachusetts, and I am, I like the cold weather many times because I get to cook without getting so hot, So welcome to all of our new subscribers and to our existing, hello. I enjoy cooking and I'm glad to be with you today. I am making today oven fried chicken and I'm using Bisquick. I've used flour in the past, flour and butter, but today I'm making thighs. I pulled the skin off, some of the skin off, not all of it, and I started seasoning my thighs. I'm using bone-in. I like the boneless and skinless. But today I pulled the skin off, but I like the bone in. So we're going to get started. Of course, I have my oven already preheated, and I put in there I put butter, and of course the recipe is below. And I used a little bit of Crisco. So the butter, because butter at higher temperatures tends to burn. So I start with my Bisquick. I have a couple cups, and I've got about 8 thighs here already cleaned. People go back and forth whether to rinse them or wash them. I, on the side of caution, I have in the past done it both ways, but I'm going back to my way of doing it with cleaning it. So here's my chicken, and I've already sprinkled a little bit of my and I'm going to put a little bit more, and then I'm going to flip them over and get the other side. Since I don't have skin on, you may or may not, tell the side from the side, except I have the bone. So I'm turning these over. They're beautiful pieces of meat. And I'm going to do a little more sprinkle. Now I'm sprinkling this, and I've also sprinkling into my Bisquick because I don't want this tasting like Bisquick and not having any other flavor. Got a couple in there that don't have seasoning on them, so we're going to just put them in there. So I'm going to continue turning these over and I'll be back. Okay, I have my chicken thighs in the bag, and they're seasoned and my flour is seasoned, and I'm mixing it up. I'm trying to make sure everybody's coated. And my pan is ready. And I'm going to put my meat in. Since it's not skinned, I'm just going to place it in bone side down. Smells so good. And I'm going to use 2 pans. Because my pieces are quite large. And smells so good. I think I'm just going to put And I'm actually going to be able to put them all in. Ooh, it's funky. So, I have my chicken already. And I'm going to place it in the oven. And I'm going to cook it. And we're going to have some crispy oven fried chicken. Join me back. Hello and welcome back. I have chicken in the oven. I have thighs, oven fried thighs in the oven. And I'm working on my Bok Choy. This is a Chinese, it's sometimes called Chinese cabbage. It is absolutely delicious. If you like greens, you might want to try it. I got this from my local grocer, and I'm gonna, as you can see, it looks a little different from vegetables I'm used to. And I tried it one day, and I really, really like it. The thing about bok choy, just like with greens and many vegetables, they have to be cleaned. And these have dirt that needs to be rinsed off. And I actually use just about all of it. I don't use the bottoms, but I do use the part of the white and actually the leaves. It's quite a pretty looking vegetable, but as you can see, there's some soot and dirt on it that we want to clean off. So I'm going to work on that. Right now, I'm just going to do a nice rinse of it, and then I'm going to cut it up, and I'll let you see that. I have the water burning, but I wanted you to see how the leaves look. And I just break them apart, and you can see some of that in there. Well, I'm back with my bok choy, and I wanted to show you the leaves. What I do, I don't use all of the white, but I cut it up, and I roughly chop it like I do my greens. I don't have a pattern but here it is, one with the stem on it. And what I did was, I just have it, and I just cut it in nice bite-sized pieces. And when I cook it, once it's cooked, it reminds me of a vegetable in the greens family. It doesn't taste like spinach, and it doesn't taste altogether like greens, but it's kind of a combination. It doesn't taste like cabbage, even though it's called, in some places, Chinese cabbage. So I have here on the stove, I'm using vegetable stock, and you can use chicken stock or turkey stock. It doesn't matter. I found that cooking with my bok choy with the vegetable or chicken stock, it just, you can use water with a little bit of salt and butter and just mix it up. But with my vegetable stock or my chicken stock or turkey stock, it just adds an extra boom to it. So I let the water, the broth or the stock get to boiling. Sometimes we're in circumstances, and when I've cooked in the past, if it's the recipe may call for butter softened room temperature, and I've in the past gone ahead and put that butter in there cold or tried to warm it up really quick, and sometimes my recipes didn't come out. So when I'm cooking my bok choy, it's, sometimes there are things in life that we have to follow the directions, that there are no shortcuts. But many times we can find shortcuts because it's how we are. Sometimes we're looking for a shorter cut. So when I made this in the past, how I learned about it, I decided that I was going to try some different vegetables and fruits in my store. And I tried the star fruit. My next venture is going to be the jackfruit. But I saw this bok choy, and it just looked really interesting. And I didn't know if the bottom was supposed to be something, so I tried it. And I tried cooking it in cold water and then bringing it up. But I found the best way to cook it, as with greens, is to have, for this recipe, is to have it a little hot. And so when I put it in, I can stir it in. So I'm going to begin and just take my leaves and put them in. And they're not real fast, but they're not slow either. So I'm going to put these in and let them steep, get the water boiling. And we'll be back. We'll be having bok choy with our oven fried chicken. Can't wait. The bok choy has cooked down quite a bit, but it's still got a little ways to go. It's still a little tough. So I'm going to leave it and put a lid on it, and we'll be back. Well, here's our chicken. I put the other pieces still back for a little bit more, but this is oven fried chicken thighs, and we're going to have that with our bok choy. Looking for the crispiest piece of chicken. And that's my dinner for tonight. I have oven fried Bisquick topping on my oven fried chicken and my bok choy. This is going to be delicious. Bok choy tastes a little bit like greens and a tiny bit of like spinach. Really good. And our chicken, I'm going to use a knife. Because it's so tender, it's just falling apart. And I want the crunchy. Here's a crunchy piece. Tender, juicy. Together we can do this. You have a good one. Talk soon. Bye-bye.